decision to separate from the United States was made following a democratic process, with 78% of the population supporting this outcome. We recognize the challenges that lie ahead, and we are prepared to engage in open and constructive dialogue to ensure a smooth transition. We invite you to join us in shaping a new era of cooperation and friendship between our three nations, founded on mutual respect and understanding. Texas will always cherish the bonds we have forged with our neighbors. We remain committed to the principles of liberty, democracy, and justice that have shaped our shared history. As we embark on this new journey, we extend our hand in friendship and look forward to continuing our positive relationship.
Alert to all residents of the new nation of Texas. As of midnight, the state is now completely independent of the United States. Please follow the guidelines outlined in this message to ensure a safe transition. All acts of violence will be punished according to the new laws and regulations of the nation of Texas. If you are an American citizen living in Texas but do not wish to join our nation, we invite you to make your decision known at the nearest police station. You will have the opportunity to register for a visa that will allow you to stay in Texas for 7 months. Otherwise, all American citizens living in Texas will automatically be guaranteed their official Texas citizenship. Your certificate will be mailed to you within the next 2 weeks. All other U.S.-issued identification documents will be replaced by new ones bearing the new State of Texas logo within the next 5 months. Land borders are now controlled by the Texas Military Department. Commercial transportation is not affected by any new regulations. Civilians wishing to cross the border into our new nation will have to undergo an immigration check and will need a tourist or worker visa, available at the border for $50. This visa is temporary and set up for the transition period. All United States flags are prohibited from flying in the areas. Flags of the new nation of Texas will be distributed to replace these at no charge. Please request them at your local town hall. We invite you to show respect and not to burn any U.S. flag. You may drop them off at any time in one of the green mailboxes belonging to the Texas Postal Service. These will be forwarded to one of the border crossings and handed over to the U.S. authorities. We want to inform you about the transition of certain services previously operated by the federal U.S. government to our newly established Texas nation. The USPS has now been replaced by the Texas Postal Service, ensuring the continued delivery of mail and essential postal services within our state. Additionally, the Department of Transportation has been succeeded by the Texas Transport Department, dedicated to overseeing and improving the transportation infrastructure across our great state. Furthermore, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has been replaced by the Texas Safety Freedom Department, demonstrating our commitment to ensuring the safety and security of our citizens while upholding their freedoms. We invite all citizens interested in joining the Texas Military Department to come forward by calling 760-706-7424. A representative will direct you to the nearest recruiting office. By joining the Texas Military Department, you have the opportunity to serve your nation with honor and dedication. Whether you possess military experience or are new to the world of defense, we welcome individuals from all backgrounds who are willing to contribute their skills, expertise, and unwavering commitment. Together, let us defend our freedoms, protect our land, and shape the destiny of our great nation. Enlist today and become an integral part of the Texas Military Department. Together, we will rise as the guardians of our proud Texas heritage.
To all U.S. military personnel currently stationed within the territory of the newly independent nation of Texas, we extend our greetings and respect to each of you for your service to the United States. As Texas embarks on its journey as a sovereign nation, we kindly request that you depart peacefully from our territory. According to the negotiations conducted with the United States, a corridor has been established to facilitate the smooth transition of military equipment and troops. We ask that you follow the designated corridor to safely rejoin U.S. territory. We understand the complexities of this transition and acknowledge the personal decisions that lie ahead. In recognition of your dedication and sacrifice, we would like to extend an invitation to join the Texas Military Department, should you choose to continue your military career within our borders. By joining the Texas Military Department, you will be guaranteed our full support and protection should you face any repercussions or accusations of desertion from the United States Army. We assure you that Texas will fight diligently to safeguard your rights and ensure a fair process. Furthermore, as an incentive for your transition, each person who elects to switch to the Texas Military Department will be granted a bonus of $40,000. This financial assistance is intended to aid in your adjustment to the new circumstances and express our appreciation for your commitment. Please note that this invitation is entirely voluntary, and the decision to join the Texas Military Department rests solely with you. We understand that this is a significant choice and respect whatever path you may choose for your future. We encourage open dialogue and are available to address any questions or concerns you may have during this transition period. Our doors are open to provide support and guidance as you navigate this important decision. After a comprehensive period of 50 days from the establishment of the independent nation of Texas, all military equipment and resources left within our territory will become the rightful property of the nation.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I thought that was pretty cool. And I actually was thinking
How'd
about
you find that? Or did you create that on Sora or whatever?
put a link down in the description.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's called It's called Alert World. They have tons of videos which are like if the rapture comes and like all kinds of, aliens get out of Area 51. It's
There would be mass exodus to Texas if that happened.
Well, this thing would have a closed border. Which is interesting. And I thought about it, and the way, like when you look at Texas, the panhandle, that area up there where Oklahoma sits, it just looks a little odd. And if we were to move.
Oh, that page is not available. That
What?
link. That page is missing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I use the YouTube when I put it in there.
There is no saved version on the Wayback Machine either.
For that Texas Alert?
Mm-hmm. I just tried to click on it in your description, and
that is
you cannot listen to it, and it's gone, and there's no saved version.
Okay.
You have the only copy, Sean. And if you guys are watching this, you have the only copy. So get your phone up and
here we
go replay it.
I'm gonna put it in here. Where we go? Here we go. And I'm gonna update the link.
There's a invite to you to join us in your Twitter DMs.
Try that link. Try that link.
Okay. I will try. Where are we? By Alert World. Let me just see if it works. Okay.
There we go. That works. Okay.
Oh, there's lots of them.
Yeah, it's like
Ooh.
I was watching those for like 2 hours, man.
Ooh.
They're so well done and fun. Like aliens come out of Area 51.
You're gonna get dinged for that music.
I know. There we go. I have to call him back. It's my stepfather's birthday, and I sent him a present, so he just got delivered. Okay, so I was thinking about Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma would join Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I thought Louisiana might.
Think about who agreed to come to the border to help.
Well, that's what I wanted to get into. I was going to make a cool video, but it's taken me so long going through all the news clips of all the states that have sent troops. And just to hear that is a very odd thing to say. And then the whole situation is very odd because Texas standing up against the federal government, okay, that's a little bit weird. That's a big deal. I mean, a lot of stuff is like it sends shockwaves through the world. But
it's not standing up, it's standing aside.
it's standing up to them because
Apart from.
we're standing up to them and disagreeing with them and going against them. But the thing is, when the Supreme Court said that this is how it is, we stood up against the Supreme Court. That to me was the huge thing. The Supreme Court, it's not like, the mainstream media said that they made a decision. They just said, while we're looking at it and figuring out, they can cut the wire. That's all. It was like a temporary thing. Just, they have the federal government has authority while we figure this out. And Texas said, nope, they don't.
No, they don't. Yeah.
So that was huge to me. And then with that, then to have all these states, and some of them weren't like Utah. I think Utah, they sent like some engineers, not a lot of troops, but they sent like 5 engineers to fix stuff and build stuff from their military. But then they sent like 10 state troopers and a trooper sergeant to be in charge of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big, I think that was a big deal.
That's that change of power of military and strength and property and all that.
And specialized police that were from like drug investigations and human trafficking. So that these are like specialized to fight the real thing. Like
So last night when Trump spoke, we didn't get into it on mine because I was like, brrr, but you brought up something that he said in the speech. But before that, when he walked in the building at Mar-a-Lago, if you go back and watch the video, and if you watch it on Il Donaldo Trumpo on Rumble, you can see a very short clip of him walking in the building. And behind him is a rainbow arch, and it has gold balloons, pink balloons, light blue balloons, and silver balloons. So I think the kids are safe. I think the children are safe. I think that we're going back to hard assets. I think it's a celebration of the transition, is what I think.
As usual, 100%.
I know you think everything's going to end in fiery hell.
Like the symbolism and stuff. I think we're so far past that. Because we're so far past that. There is no more nuance. There's no more secretive stuff. People are like, hey man, the devil's great. I like to drink my lover's blood before we have sex. Do you like that, kids? All your 20 million kids are following?
It's all being exposed. Yeah. And that shows that the good guys are in control.
See, here's where I disagree. I think the bad guys are so entrenched and so much in power. They don't have to hide.
Nope.
They're not.
Victoria Nuland resigned today. Victoria Nuland resigned today.
Out and say, hey, this is normal.
No.
This is good, man. This is what you got to do, kids. And it's true. I watched a video of a mother who took her kid to the vet because it was sick. And he thought,
good. Maybe it got some ivermectin.
No, he identified as a cat. She took him to the vet. And she said, the vet said, I am a vet. I cannot treat your child because I don't know a lot about anatomy for humans. I treat animals. And she said, I could have reported him. I got him arrested and he'll lose his license. But I understand what he's saying, even though it's wrong. My kid thinks he's a cat, so he's a cat. I'm not making this up.
I know, but once again, those crazy stories are coming out to try to wake people up.
Yeah, but they're not. That's the thing.
Yes, they are.
What is crazy is no longer crazy. Stuff that was...
No, I agree with your statement.
Was batshit insane.
This bad stuff has been happening in the darkness for too long. And people thought if you said that happened, they thought you were crazy. Instead of the insane, sick people doing these things being exposed.
That hasn't been happening in the darkness.
Hell yes, it has.
It didn't happen. It didn't freaking happen until now.
Yes, it did.
It never happened. There was never parents taking their kids to the vet.
No, but there were people treating children as animals.
That's because they were terrible, not because the kid wanted to be an animal and said he was. And it's insane. And the fact that, like, what are they doing in insane asylums? What's going on? Are they just empty now? Do they have no business whatsoever?
I don't know that there are any. I thought Obama let them all out. and then I don't
Oh,
know that there
they did
are anymore.
They did in Australia. They closed them all down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Chip Roy unveils a bill to sue COVID vaccine makers to see. Here, Americans can sue vaccine makers. See if that includes you. I will forward that to the Telegram group. Like this is where like when people are like, how are all these payouts going to happen? How's like this stuff going to happen? Well, we've all had some bad shit happen to us and bad things be handed to us or forced on us in different ways. And there may be, the irony that they try to shove reparations down our throat for slavery, and we've all been slaves.
Interesting, yes. So that chick on The View,
I don't know.
there was not Whoopi, but the other black chick on The View.
I don't know.
She did the PBS show with the Ancestry.com, and like her, not far, like her grandparents, her great grandparents owned slaves, and you could see it just. She was like, "Oh, well, I guess that's how some people, lived back then," and it wasn't Whoopi.
Oh, not so bad for her family.
Yeah,
Huh?
all of a sudden, it was like, "Well, that was a long time ago," and that's just how people were back then. But it was crazy because she is like so far left. But I want to get back to the Texas thing.
Okay.
So I want to make this video of all the stuff that Texas did, standing against the government and basically standing up for Texas. Like, Texas, we're going to protect our citizens. We're going to protect our state. You can be crazy, but we're not playing along. We're not playing the game. We're, totally Martin Luther Kinging it, and we're just not going to participate, And then Tennessee was the first state to back Texas, and they sent, I think it was like 100 troops. And then all these other states are sending troops, like Utah, I think it was like New Hampshire, Maine, someone like way up high north sent some. And then Florida came out and they sent 1,000 troops, which is like a real number. And then, I talked about Texas building the base. And the base it's such a huge deal that they're building a Texas military base. It's not a National Guard armory, has nothing to do with, and that's even Oklahoma. You have that inactive reserve. Florida
that we talked about, yeah.
Florida built.
So speaking of that for Oklahoma, just real quick before you move on to Florida.
Florida built this their own. DeSantis makes it very clear this is a Florida military, nothing to do with the federal government. I'm in command of this people. They don't have a base. It's all intertwined with the National Guard. This is a straight up military base. There's not another one in the United States. It's a huge thing.
It is. So Governor Stitt announced yesterday or today that Oklahoma is number 2 in recruitment for the National Guard. We're having mass recruitment to National Guard in Oklahoma. It's very interesting.
But
and
until Oklahoma brings up their own guard, though, that's just more federal.
Well, no. We don't only have the reserve. We have our National Guard, our state National Guard, but then we also have we have both.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, go look it up. Show me. You don't. I'm saying you don't.
I know we have National Guard people that go every weekend or once a month or whatever.
You don't have an Oklahoma Guard. You have an inactive.
Okay, so will it be like the thing, like the video just said? Hey, big announcement. Now make your choice.
Yeah, it would make it. They'd have to make an announcement and activate the Oklahoma Guard. Yeah, but it's inactive. It's shut down.
It's an activation. Then it's
it needs to have an activation, and then people would have to join that.
Maybe that's where he was going tonight.
And I'm sure
he lives just north of me.
The federal government would bar anyone who's in the National Guard or IRR or reserves to join any state guard. I'm sure that's coming, especially if
But if you are included in the scenario of the video we just saw, if you have the choice to leave that and say, no, I'm in this, I stand in the ground of Oklahoma. I'm a citizen, not a citizen. What would you say? I'm a sovereign person in Oklahoma, and I choose to serve the National Guard or the State Guard of Oklahoma. Then it could be like that scenario of that video that just played out.
And you would be saying that while you're getting on the plane to go to Cuba. And
who's taking me? They're not here.
The guy sitting next to you who's not doing that, and he is in the National
Then
Guard.
that's a civil war. Then that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. If you're barred from joining the Oklahoma Guard because you're in the National Guard, you're not going to join. You're not going to have the choice or the option unless Oklahoma secedes. If Oklahoma is its own sovereign country or does something like that,
if there's an
announcement, regular state, then no, you're stuck.
No, but I said if it went with Texas, if there was the announcement. I'm driving home today, and Stitt lives just north of me, about a block or so, and there's 2 big trooper vehicles and his black truck thing, SUV in between, headed south. So maybe with this outage, maybe we're all getting ready to have an announcement. I'm always waiting for the announcement, but all the things seem to be lining up.
And this is hilarious. Lone Star versus Star. That is, I mean, at least
I don't even know what Lone Star is. Or
Lone Star was okay. So there's a spoof of Star Wars called Spaceballs that Mel Gibson.
Okay,
Mel Brooks did.
I've seen clips from that.
Han Solo, Luke Skywalker combo,
and guy. He has like a giant helmet.
Yeah, that's Dark Helmet, who's Rick Moranis, and they have
the miniature guy.
But so that's, and one guy's name's Lone Star, and it's very, very funny.
I don't know Lone Star.
So all these states are, even states that aren't sending troops yet, they immediately align themselves. These governors came down, and it's like 25 states that these governors, I think we have 17 that came down, met with that.
17.
We're on the border. Mm-hmm. Huge deal.
About the same number that made gold and silver legal tender.
Probably.
Been back in their state treasuries during the Great Infection. So, why do you think gold and silver is so suppressed?
I think it's especially if you're an outsider looking in, it has to be just insane. If you're sitting there in Finland or Sweden or anywhere and watching this happen, you have to be, obviously Texas is going to move in this direction. I think this base is going to go up, but I don't think it's going to be the last one. I think they're going to build a few bases, but just once a military base is made,
right, it can just be occupied. Right,
so unprecedented, dude. It's a foreign military, Texas military. I mean, you can say what you want, but it's a foreign military base on U.S. soil. It's not Texas soil, but on U.S. soil it is. It's a very odd situation. But I think, and Marjorie Taylor Greene said that we need a divorce, and then she backpedaled massively. She was hugely attacked. But I think it's true. It's time for, like you said, for us to kind of restructure, start over. We're 50 countries, man.
Yeah. And
maybe Hawaii leaves, and that would be actually pretty cool.
I'm okay with that.
I would, because number one, we did terrible things to Hawaii. But if they were allowed to have their own country, and there's so much, that's where the elite go. The elite think that they own that they built their bunkers there, and for that to be its own country, and for them to get control over that would be crazy. And maybe we take Puerto Rico as a state finally. I don't know, but I think we need to restructure, and I think we're maybe heading for that.
Remember my picture? Where there are no stars on the flag anymore. It's red for love, and it's white for law, and it's blue for hope. That our forefathers saw of a larger liberty, but no stars on the flags.
And also, if we do, we can have a completely different relationship with Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair
trade. Oh, my camera. I knocked my camera over. I got so excited.
You did. Which is not just fair trade, but I mean, militarily, can you imagine if we were able to go in there and support and just kill the crap out of
the cartel?
Yeah.
And have the natural resources, access to trade the natural resources of silver and
natural resources.
My gosh.
The resources of Mexico are insane.
Mm-hmm.
If we could partner with them instead of exploiting them, it would bring Mexico back up to where they were as like a serious world power. And Texas, Oklahoma, Oklahoma, whatever you want to call it, but also Louisiana. I don't know about New Mexico and Arizona, but
I think the majority of Arizona is conservative. I do not know. I'm not really that connected with Colorado. I used to go snowboarding there a lot, but the people that were there that I met were all about freedom. They were all about they not wanting people to tell them what to do or whatever. So yeah, I pulled a Westwood. Sorry, I knocking things over.
I think there's so many positives that
I'm glad to hear you so hopeful.
I don't see a lot of negatives with if that were to happen. And there's something here that I learned about. So there's this weird clause.
I gotta go in 10 minutes.
That the states that you're not allowed to secede from the union anymore, and Texas is not allowed to secede from the union. You can't do that. That is the Supreme Court. They did say that. Okay. So, but we can split into like 4 countries, like the southern United States, the west. It can be. That is like illegal.
So the state can't leave by itself, but if it took a friend, it's fine.
Right. There it is. I gotta look it up because I
that is bizarre.
That the United States can split into like 4 or 5 different entities.
A lot of people talk about that kind of stuff, seeing like Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas kind of glumping up together, Missouri.
Yeah, I can see Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana.
Missouri.
Maybe Missouri. And if you get Missouri, then you're looking at Florida, Georgia. That's the whole
goes
bottom.
Right over there.
And
that's the old deep South, though, right?
Yeah. And the whole reason that they lost, it was because of population and technology. And there's those
and Cinco de Mayo that you taught me about, and we're coming up on that.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is a big one because I mean that
would have changed the whole game.
It would have changed the game. The South probably would have won. Because they would have been supported by Spain. But then Spain could have went to war with Russia, which could have changed. We would have changed a lot. Spain probably could have talked its way out of a war with Russia, but Russia. I think it was Catherine the Great, or it was whoever was in charge. Lincoln's ambassador to Russia talked them into supporting the North, and Russia put out, if any country recognized the southern United States as its own country, they would declare war on them. So no countries would support the South, and no countries would recognize them as their own country. But then Spain did send troops. So, but I don't know if they were. I think they were trying to like go on the fence where they're not saying it's a country, but they're supporting the rebellion. So I don't know. But if those troops would have ever made it to the South to bolster them, that would have changed things big time. But the Mexicans, line from Robin Hood, where the Crusades taught him that one man defending his home is worth 10 paid mercenaries. You know, that was how it was.
I agree. I have a hot date in like 5 minutes.
Okay, good. I'm actually making a buttload of cheese. So.
Are you making cheese?
Yeah, I'm making a lot of quark.
What is it called?
Quark.
Quark.
Quark. It's German cheese.
Oh, cool.
Super simple. Like I make cheese, you know, like it's a little complicated, but it's just like super simple. You just put milk and some buttermilk, let it sit, get to room temperature for like 24 hours. Then you just cook it, heat it up, and it separates, and then you're done. You got to put through a cheesecloth and let it, all that stuff. But super easy. I'm making chili for family night tomorrow.
Oh, I love chili. I have a great chili recipe, but I have to be there to make it because I don't measure anything.
I made the best chili ever, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember my ex was like, "Oh, this is the best chili I ever had. What'd you do?" I was like,
I don't know.
Stuff. I was like, it is really good, but I couldn't. I don't know what I did. I just make it. So, but Alex has lost like a ton of weight.
Oh wow!
I think he's lost like 30 pounds.
Holy cow!
It's like, can you make chili for family night? But can you make it with like chicken? I usually
you can do ground turkey a lot of times.
Ground the chicken myself. Yeah. Ground turkey.
Oh, that's so good.
It tastes like shit.
Oh, really? Well, mix it in. Do like a compromise.
Well, see, you can get white meat ground turkey, but it's more expensive than beef now. Ground chicken and ground beef, or ground chicken and ground turkey, it's more expensive than beef. It's like $7 a pound for white meat.
Oh my God. I about passed out. We went to the store and I was going to try to get ham for ham sandwiches. And I went over to the deli and to get, $12 a pound.
$15 a pound, man.
Yeah. Insanity. Complete insanity.
Yeah, it is nuts. It is nuts. And then remember, like months ago or years ago, they were just killing them and like throwing them in the trash, pigs.
Yeah.
Because they're like, terrible. with the pouring a gallon.
Well, and we didn't mention the fires in no one's talking about the fires in Texas in the Panhandle.
The biggest
huge
fires in the world.
Yeah, huge.
Which is nuts.
And
I didn't even know about it. A friend of mine.
They're killing cattle and destroying the land, whatever. And I don't know if that's in preparation of the mass exodus or the deportation or what's happening. But anyway,
no,
yes, he did. He told that last week.
No, I didn't. It just happened.
When did I hear about it?
On Facebook.
Oh, I was checking on you.
Sorry. Yeah. No, yeah. My son made carpet cleaner to for the dogs with the bath because he shampoos the carpet right away. And but he took a purified drinking water gallon jug.
Mm-hmm.
But he said he puts in the water, puts in the carpet cleaner, and then put in some vinegar. And then he told Ted, this is carpet cleaner that I've made. Don't drink this.
Don't you guys have permanent markers at your house?
Yeah, I know. And then he's
permanent marker
the sink. And then we have an ice maker on a countertop ice maker. And you got to put water in it. And it was low on water. So Ted goes into the sink, gets it, and pours it in there.
Oh, my God.
And I had diet cranberry juice because my doctor's like, quit drinking sugar juices, Sean. So I got diet cranberry juice, which tastes like shit. And so I get the ice and I pour it in there. I was like, oh, man, it tastes terrible. So I drink like 2 cups of that.
Oh, my God.
With the ice. And then Ted goes and gets a drink. He's like, Dad, this smells like poison. It's like, let me smell your drink. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, it smells like poison. I was like, no, it doesn't. Give me that back.
They're like, we're putting him in the old folks' home. He's endangering himself.
He took an actual ice cube out. It's like, eat the ice cube. I was like, oh, yeah, that tastes weird. That does taste weird.
Oh, my God.
So they're like freaking out. Oh, killed our dad.
They called poison control, though. They were good boys. They called poison control and checked on you. And
tell me to drink milk. Alex drank some too, but he bought a diet energy drink. He was just like, this energy drink's disgusting.
Oh,
So,
funny.
so I just drank a bunch of milk. It was fine. That's all poison control. I remember when I was a kid, my mom was taking my temperature, and I just bit the.
Oh God! So you had the mercury in your mouth.
So I had mercury in there, and then she went nuts, called poison control, and they were like, "Well, how much glass did he eat?" And she's like, "Who cares? It's mercury." And she's like, "Yeah, just tell him to drink some milk. Just have to drink some milk." So ever since then, anytime I call poison control, they're always like, "You drink much milk, rest." You know.
I love it.
So that's what I did, and I'm fine.
I love it. I see you guys talking about the eclipse. I will be at my mom's in Arkansas for that weekend, and I'm kicking around about like if people are going to be close to that, like maybe trying to do a meetup for those of you that might be in that area so we can all get together. So send me a message or tag me on Twitter. Let me know if you will be near Fort Smith, Arkansas. During that time, or Waldron or Greenwood or some of those places. So
Eclipse is going to be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be
all
cool.
right. You guys, please hit the like button and leave comments. I love y'all. Oh yeah, I should put a video. Had one. What was I going to do?
I don't know.
Something. That's too
Western Arkansas. Yes.
Western Arkansas. Oh yeah, Bitcoin's up to like 66,000 or something. So
Bitcoin itself is a hyped up fraud. It's a pet rock.
You're back to that?
Yeah,
really?
Of course, yeah.
But it has all the characteristics of a store of value. It's immutable. It's scarce.
Totally untrue. It's
21 million.
Well, yeah, really. How do you know it's going to stop at 21 million?
Because
I've mentioned this to people
Satoshi.
Everyone says that. Well, maybe it's going to get to 21 million, and Satoshi's picture is going to come up and